and YouTube coming online 17th of June. Beautiful evening out there. We'll take a look at some of the cameras coming up here in just a little bit. Let me go ahead and get Facebook rolling so we can get all this taken care of here. Okay, looks like we are going, so get everything connected here in just a moment. It is, again, beautiful for Chattanooga. Very much on the warm side out there, but if you have any plans for tomorrow, you might want to think about, again, taking the umbrella with you just to be on the safe side, as we're going to be seeing a lot of changes coming up as we go into the course of the next couple of days. So be prepared for a lot of changes coming on through. We'll talk more about that coming up here in just a little bit. Again, we've got Twitch and YouTube going. This is weather overtime, or will be, starting up here in just a few moments as we get, again, things taken care of to get things happening for now. Got any questions? Again, use the chat function to drop comments on YouTube or Facebook when we get that going, or on Twitch. Glad to have everybody along. Nice to have everybody coming on through here from time to time. So thanks a lot again to everybody for stopping by and paying attention. 10 seconds away from Facebook launching, so we'll get into this and get everybody taken care of on here in 3, 2, 1, and here we go. All right, peak of the week, Wednesday. Let me make certain all of the audio is working properly on here. And it looks like it is. Don't want to sound like I'm talking out of a coffee can or anything. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austin Onek. It is the Wednesday edition of our weather blog, Weather Overtime. We do this to give you, the viewers, an opportunity to tune in and see what's going on and ask questions, get a little bit of a back and forth going on here for tonight. If you don't want to put it in the comments section on Twitch, YouTube, or again on Facebook, depending on which platform you're watching on, we're netcasting concurrently on all of those, and of course we'll put a repeat performance on our website at wdef.com/weather. If you'd like to know more, or you don't want to put anything into the comments section, email address is again aonic@wdef.com. Beautiful evening out there tonight, no problems at all, but that's going to be changing into the next couple of days as a storm system arrives from the south and another one moves in from the north, and then we dry out for a little bit, and then lather, rinse, repeat. We've got more opportunities for problems coming on through into the next couple of days. Late night snack run tonight, too late for dinner, too early for breakfast. It is going to be pleasant, definitely not going to need the jacket, shirt sleeve weather, only into the lower 70s for low temperatures tonight. That's as good as it gets, so no frost out there. No snow in our forecast, probably until about November, give or take about 5 to 6 months away. Could be some raindrops before early in the morning. We'll be watching that carefully. Chip will have your forecast coming up bright and early. I was in this general area, give or take, about 3 years ago or so. Met my wife's sister and brother-in-law just up the coast on the border of North Carolina, so very close to this area. Miss the beach very much. My wife loves a good beach vacation there. Sunrise from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, courtesy of News 12 viewer Terry Johnson from Rossville. Beautiful view with a few clouds bracketing the area back off to the east. If you've got weather pictures, again, we would love to see what you're seeing so we can show them to everybody else in the weather window. Email, social media in the comments section, or go to Weather Window headquarters at wdef.com/photos, and would love to be able to see again what you're seeing out there, so go ahead and send those in to us when you can. Very close to normal on temperatures, within a degree on both the high and the low. No precipitation, so now we're behind for the month by nearly 7/10 of an inch. And we're also behind for the year by 5 2/3 inches. So it's going to take better part of half a foot of rainfall just to get us caught up for this time of the year. It's been a very dry 2026, and we could use some help on there. Beautiful view from downtown. The view from our downtown camera, the 1% list Scenic City camera, showing again the moon and Venus, which Venus was occulted, as it is said, by the moon earlier today. That means Venus went right behind the moon's surface earlier during the afternoon. Zooming out a little bit, and let's see if we can tilt down here just a skosh, and you should be able to see right down there, that is the planet Jupiter. So you've got two planets and Earth's moon in view. It's a beautiful evening, again, good for stargazing out there, and should remain pretty nice up until about the time we get into about dawn patrol tomorrow morning, and that is where we may see the potential for some more problems coming on through. Temperatures, again, pleasant. We're still in the 80s right before 10 o'clock Eastern time. Humidity is up, winds are up. It continues to be a very mild series of days and going to be even warmer coming up next week. We'll talk about that on the 7 days, so stay tuned for that. Allergies, mold spores went back up again to the high level. Tree, grass, and weed pollen, according to Chattanooga Allergy Clinic, still on the low side. So if you have any problems with anything involving allergens out there, you've got several choices, mold spores being the best potential for right now. So we are seeing a little bit more problems there. We do have some scattered showers and some leftover thunderstorms moving through parts of northwest Georgia, now east of I-75, dissipating as they head through News 12 viewing area counties Gilmer and Fannin. Eventually, what's left of that will wander into western North Carolina. We had some stronger activity back south of Jackson and DeKalb counties. Not seeing any problems there for right now. The counties that you see listed in green, that is where we have a flash flood watch in effect. Bartow, Cherokee, Forsyth, Georgia, Calhoun, back over to around St. Clair and Jefferson, Alabama, picking up those areas of scattered showers out there. So we do have the potential of heavier rainfall south of the News 12 viewing area for tonight, and that's why the flood watch is in effect. Looking at the wider scale situation and going down south, Arthur is still a tropical storm. At least it was when I was on the dinner shift just a little while ago. Whether or not it's still there, let me just double check the National Hurricane Center here. Yes, Arthur is still a tropical storm for tonight. Looking at winds of just about 40 miles per hour and 40 miles per hour or so, and still moving to the northeast, which is going to put the remnants of this storm into and around southeast Texas, and that is where we could see a majority of the flooding coming up into the rest of the next 24 hours. Then the remnants of this will make its way up across the southeast United States. Not as a hurricane, not as anything even close to that, but the remnants of this will stir up moisture and move it northward, and that will allow our next storm system to get a little closer to us. The spaghetti models, again, taking the remnants of Arthur well south of the area across the deep south, but that's going to be in a perfect position to ride the Gulf area and push that moisture up and into the southeast United States. So that is where we're going to be seeing the best potential for showers and thunderstorms out there. Now we have our latest storm system outside of Arthur, right back over portions of the Midwest. So from about Nevada, Missouri, up to just west of Detroit, we've got numerous tornado watches in effect. We have had, again, tornadoes on the ground in Iowa causing damage, and this is a very vigorous storm system right here. This is going to be responsible for several more hours worth of severe weather. Confirmed the boxes flashing in purple, confirmed tornadoes right there into southeastern Illinois, southwestern Indiana down toward the Wabash, and numerous other radar indicated tornado warnings into and around this area. Northeast Iowa was where that touchdown, again, did a pretty good job of causing some damage there in that area. Trey Castile on Facebook, what about Oregon? We'll talk about that in a little bit. We're not on too many cable channels out that direction, so we'll check there in just a mo, so hang on for that. Right now, again, what's left of our storm down to the south is going to ride up and get curved over to the east by this leftover front. So this will help to move that moisture up and over our direction and getting rid of the potential of anything involving rainfall. Will be high pressure coming in from the north, as you don't see a lot going on into the Midwest. That dry air will be coming in to move all this moisture-rich air out of the way as we get into the weekend. So the weekend doesn't look to be too much of a problem, at least for right now. Trey Castile, Oregon, well, not much to tell you. You've got a semi-permanent low off the California coast riding on through. Winds out of the north coming down from Washington State, and beyond that, looks like it's a pretty nice evening over into Oregon. So for all of our viewers on cable in Portland, thanks for tuning in and finding out what's going on with the weather back out to the west. Now, for the rest of the evening and for tonight, we'll continue again to watch what's left of our latest storm system move from the Gulf up this direction and encounter our next storm system as this begins to sink a little closer to us. That moisture-rich, unstable air rides up against that front, and that means tomorrow is where we may see the best potential for severe weather and heavy rainfall. Then we get the drier air starting to make its way on through, dropping into the area by early Friday afternoon, clearing us out into Saturday, pushing the moisture-rich air down to the south of us, and then high pressure starts working against us as we go into the next several days. Air around high pressure rotates clockwise, and again, what we call anticyclonic. This is going to start moving more of that moisture-rich air back up in front of our next storm system, which is then going to get organized across the plain states. So Sunday morning, probably fairly quiet, excuse me, and then into Sunday evening, the rain and the thunderstorm chances begin to return once again. So we'll have about a 36-hour window of no rainfall coming up on Saturday into Sunday. Now, this is, again, very important right here. The pale green colors that you see, that, again, is just possibility of thunderstorms. Notice up on the key in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, pale green is just the possibility of thunderstorms. And then back up to our north, Indianapolis, I-70, west of Cincinnati, Bloomington, Indiana, Henry Blake's hometown, if I'm not mistaken, and south and east of Springfield, Illinois. There is a 4 out of 5 moderate threat category. Some pretty nasty storms up this direction, and again, confirmed damage from some of those storms back into Iowa. Now, tomorrow, back into the News 12 viewing area, we do not see anything in the way of major problems. We go down from a 4 out of 5 moderate to a 1 out of 5 marginal threat. That is the dark green polygon that you see there, which means, yes, there is the potential of severe weather. No, it is not a major outbreak, but yes, we do need to be prepared for that. The best possibility, Nashville, Middle Tennessee, all the way back into New England, as that main energy of that front makes its way well back over to the north and to the east. So it could be a little stormy north of I-40, up around I-70, through the Virginias into the mid-Atlantic, and again, toward about the tri-state area, we could be seeing the potential of some more storms taking place there, and that could be a bit of a problem for travelers out there, so please keep that in mind. Now, on Friday, we get rid of the threat, although we do see some possible severe storms from the Atlantic coast all the way back to the Red River. We will just see here the potential of just generic thunderstorms, no severe weather for Friday. Once again, the flash flood watch is in for areas just south of the News 12 viewing area in Gordon County, Georgia. No watch, but you go down to Cherokee County, Georgia, and down toward the Atlanta metro area. That is where we are seeing the best potential of flash flooding taking place, and that includes parts of the I-20 corridor back toward Birmingham, east central Alabama, west central Georgia, and that goes all the way down to the coast, the Florida Panhandle, southern half of Mississippi, much of Louisiana, and back into southeast Texas. So we've got a pretty good wallop of rainfall making its way into the area there. Now, the flash flooding threat is not for us tonight. It does return to the area with more heavy rainfall. Now, again, we showed you severe weather on the last map. This map is all about, again, flash flooding. So we go to a 2 out of 4 slight risk. The worst potential, again, will be well down to our south in the red moderate category. And then over the course of the day on Friday, it lessens, but it sticks around for the possibility of some more flash flooding taking place. Saturday, the threat leaves the area and goes back toward the Missouri River Valley, but then it returns again on Sunday late. Heaviest rainfall, Kansas City, Springfield, Missouri, over to Lexington, Kentucky, and that will be the best potential of flash flooding, but also a lesser but still possible threat into around Sunday night and into early Monday morning. So how much are we talking about? Again, the lion's share, first off, will be down across Georgia and Alabama, and then we don't pick up anything until we get into Sunday night, Monday morning, and the numbers start creeping up just a little bit. It doesn't look like a multi-inch washout, although some areas could be picking up. LJ, Georgia, down to east of I-75, you might be looking at maybe 2 inches or so, and all that rain in the wrong place can do a very good job of causing flash flooding all on its own, especially with the topography we have in this area of the News 12 viewing area. The higher elevations, the slopes of the mountains and the hills out there could easily lend itself to a lot of problems with flash flooding. Rest of the area looks to be just soggy, and again, not a washout. Some of the weekend I think we can salvage, but for right now, I think that'll be the worst of the worst activity out there. Arthur, again, not much left of this system, and beyond that, there is nothing else going on into the News 12 viewing area or even close to that. So right now, the Atlantic, the Caribbean, and the Gulf are quiet. Likewise, into the Pacific, we had several storms lined up south of Mexico and on the west coast of Central America. Those also have fallen apart, and there's nothing right now to take their place. So tropical cyclone formation not expected during the next 7 days. Welcome to those just tuning in on Twitch and also on YouTube. Nice to have you on board. Drop a comment into the comment section. Say hello if you want to. And thanks to everybody who's been joining us on Facebook for tonight for Weather Overtime. Let's go ahead and jump ahead. Oh, Sylvester the Spider on the camera there for tonight. Sorry about that to the arachnophobes. And again, Moon, Venus, Jupiter, and looks like airplane right there moving into view, about ready to impact Sylvester the Spider. And we've got a vessel out on the waters of Lake Chickamauga. Been very busy on the lake early this afternoon into this evening. A lot of folks having some fun out there. Going through the next several days, again, chances of rain will be greatest Thursday into Friday. Outdoor activities Thursday, very much on the iffy side. The chances of rain diminish, but again, drop out of the picture pretty much into Friday. Then we clear out as that high pressure drives in drier air. So the last day of spring on Saturday into the first day of summer starting Sunday morning, bright and early. Looks to be pretty nice. Temperatures remain very stable back in the mid-80s. Warmer, yes, but we do see that potential of no 90s, no triple digits. I'm just fine with that. Hopefully you are too. And then again, temperatures again in the lows in the 60s and 70s. So decently narrow range of temperatures. There's just not really much changing anytime soon. Looking pretty quiet out there for now. And starting Sunday afternoon and evening through the rest of most of next week. Again, next week is National Lightning Safety Awareness Week. We'll have more on that coming up here in just a little bit. In the meantime, we've got a window of opportunity for outdoor stuff Saturday morning into around Sunday afternoon. So might be able to get out and about for a round of golf or getting the kids out for try to alleviate cabin fever. But otherwise, again, not seeing any long-term drier air for right now. It'd be nice, but that's just not in the offing at this point. If you are a weather photographer and would like to enter a contest with your pictures, and there's a theme involved here, but you can check that out on the website. The American Meteorological Society is having their photo contest. They extended it until June 30th at 5 o'clock Eastern Time. First place is $500. Members' choice is also $500. If you would like to submit your pictures to this contest, all you have to do is go to photocontest.ametsoc.org, and you have until the 30th. So you've got about a little bit less than half a month to get your pictures in. So a good opportunity there to get things taken care of and to get your picture into there. Now, I mentioned National Lightning Safety Awareness Week, and that's very important. That'll be coming up here in the course of the next week, starting this Sunday, as a matter of fact. So a bit of a prelude out there for our question of the day. And this is one of those things that keeps cropping up every once in a while. I had a couple email me regarding lightning safety and asked if you just skip briskly and just barely touch the ground, will you be safe? And the answer to that is unfortunately no, because lightning strikes in a fraction of a second, and you'd have to know more about when your feet would be touching the ground in order to totally avoid that lightning strike, and you'd have to be launching yourself up into the air at just the right time frame. Now, I'm a pretty decent forecaster, but even I'm not that good for predicting when the lightning strike will happen, whether it's an inch in front of you or 30 miles away as a bolt from the blue. Now, the question was crouching low to the ground. You just make yourself as small a target as possible. That'll make you totally safe during thunderstorms. Well, a lot of people answered yes, that will help. Well, actually, this is another weather myth. It's actually false that it will make you safe. The best place for when it comes to lightning is to make certain that you are out of the possibility of being struck by lightning, and your best bet is to make certain that you are back indoors in a sturdy building, not a tent, not a pavilion on a golf course, although if that's the only shelter you've got, that's the best you're able to come up with. The best thing you can do is monitor for lightning. First of all, be weather aware. And then if you have a tracker on your phone, if you have something like lightningmaps.org or something that's available to warn you, an app of some sort or a device that detects the signature, the radio signature from lightning, great. That will help give you some decent warning on there. But crouching on the ground, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about making you a taller target. The problem is, even if you're wearing rubber shoes on the ground, the lightning can still flow through you. And I should really feature it at some point in time. I believe it's a South Korean cruise ship off the coast of South Korea, to where people's hair are standing on end, and everybody's filming each other with their cameras to get footage of this. The problem with that is your hair stands up. That signals that the electricity from a potential lightning strike is going through your body, including your rubber-soled shoes, up through your head, and you could become part of a lightning strike at any point in time. And again, wearing rubber boots or sneakers does not protect you on that, because that electricity flowing up through the ground, meeting the lightning channel coming down from the cloud, not going to make you safer. So the best place you can be is indoors. So crouching on low to the ground, that's one of those weather myths, like getting up under the overpasses, the bridges, to where a lot of people think getting up underneath there will make you safe. It actually creates a wind funnel effect and can channel more debris and also focus more wind to push you out into and around another area and into more danger. So there's a lot of weather myths like this, and thanks to everybody who voted in our weather poll sponsored by Williams Plumbing. And if you'd like to take the poll, shoot the QR code right there, or go to our website at wdef.com/vote now if you'd like to find out more about that. And of course, we'll have a new poll coming up at midnight. Probably won't be about lightning. We'll save most of those as we go into next week for National Lightning Safety Awareness Week. All right, breakfast time tomorrow. Temperatures back in the mid-70s only. That's as cool as it gets for later on tonight, and not much better than that. Of course, Chip Chapman will have more on your forecast starting bright and early at 5 o'clock Eastern time, so make certain you tune in for the morning show and to find out more details about what's going on with the forecast. Also, that's going to be about when the rainfall chances really start to kick in. So if you're leaving the house tomorrow for work, summer school, VBS, whatever, and it's not raining yet, take the rain gear with you and be weather aware. Pay attention to what is going on with the forecast through the rest of the day, because it's a very good possibility that we are going to see some severe weather out there throughout the course of the rest of the day. Probably won't be as violent as what's going on up into the Midwest tonight, but it is going to be, could be pretty ugly up there for a lot of people. And we're talking the possibility of maybe violent tornadoes. There could be some fatalities. There has definitely past tense been damage up in Iowa tonight. So hopefully everybody manages to stay safe up there. And of course, we'll keep you advised here on News 12 as to what is going on. Thanks for joining us. Again, it's Wednesday evening, the 17th. We'll post this to our website. You can also pick up Weather Overtime on our app. If you haven't done that, download the app, go to your particular app store and search WDEF Weather and download that. And again, don't forget you can catch us on, or catch me at least, on all of these social media sites. If you want to hit me up for a game of chess, I'm on chess.com and lichess.org if you'd like to find me there. And of course, we'll keep you updated on our social media pages. We're live on Facebook, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube, netcasting as much as we possibly can there. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and sign off for now. We've been on for a better part of half an hour, so not a bad evening. Let's take one more check out there and see if there's any more comments. No new ones on YouTube. Welcome to our viewers who are tuning in on Twitch for tonight, and thanks to everybody else for checking in on Facebook for this evening. All right, live and direct from downtown Chattanooga, Tennessee, Southeast U.S., Western Hemisphere, planet Earth, Milky Way galaxy. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austin Onyx. Stay tuned for more with News 12 tonight at 11. Chips in the morning, and I'll talk to you again coming up on Thursday.